Welcome back to the channel, guys. What looks like my car is not my car. This is another local R34 GTR V-Spec. This is, you can check out his Instagram here. This is Aiden's and Tony's car. It's in for some general maintenance stuff. We are going to be putting the Alcantara Mines accessory pieces on. So we're gonna be putting this on, the shift boot, the emergency brake, and a bunch of other stuff. He asked me to do a radio since we're super familiar with it. And I do from time to time help out local guys. So just follow us along. Today we're gonna be just kind of ripping it apart. Tommy's gonna be in on the assist, and we're gonna be doing a separate video when we do the cabin filter so that we can have some instructions. I've seen a lot of you guys kind of wanting to know how to do that. So we'll just do a step-by-step for you guys. We'll put a video together. We'll probably drop that before this video, but I'll put the link up in the corner here. And yeah, just follow us along. So this is only step one, all the interior little bits. Well, we're gonna be changing out the exhaust, some of the other pipes. We're gonna be doing hood, diffusers, a bunch of other carbon bits, as well as some tuning things. So stay tuned while we kind of put this car and just kind of, I think Tony called it the final stages of his car that he's been putting together. So far it's a really nice looking car. I love the BBS wheels on it. He's got the R888s, and he's already had all the service work done to the engine, including the timing belts and all that stuff. So, and he's got some nice accessories, some different accessories than mine. He's got a black Nismo cluster, the Nismo wheel. He's got some pretty cool seats, but we're just gonna kind of update some things and so he can enjoy it a little bit more. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is pass this off to Tommy and have him do all the work. Now we're gonna be pulling this glove box off. You can see he's got really nice seats in here, really good condition. He's got the Nismo mats. So the cabin filter is located behind this glove box. So a lot of this has to come out, but we're doing a radio. So we're just gonna kind of breeze through some of this stuff. And then, like I said, there's gonna be a step-by-step on how to actually remove the glove box, how to do the cabin filter, which is behind here in some grooves. So just follow us along. It's just gonna be a fun video. And there's gonna be a series of a couple things that we do to this car to kind of just tell you guys what the final steps are to make this car his own car. You know what's super cool about his car? He's got these. I cannot find a part number for this. Is pretty cool. There's a tweeter behind there. So his model, I don't know what the deal was, but he's got some A-pillars with tweeters in there. Super rare, super cool. So in a future video, we're gonna be putting on this HKS blow-off valve kit, as well as the intercooler. I thought I want to drop it in there so you guys can stay tuned. We're gonna have some cool sound clips, let you guys know what this one is. A lot of people are always very particular on what blow-off valve they have. It's this or that or whatever. So we'll give you guys the sound clips. I'm a big fan of these, but this is the specific kit for the R33, R34. This is gonna be sick. This plus intercooler plus a bunch of other HKS goodies are going on this car. Yeah, it's gonna sound really good, and it's a lot different. Right now, I'll insert a sound clip here, but there's a Kakimoto exhaust, which is the original exhaust that my car came with. And it was just to kind of calm his car down with. I think his car came stock with the stock exhaust and to give him a little bit more sound. But now we're gonna go with the HKS Super Turbo Muffler that was on my car before we took the Tomei off. So if you follow along, we're just swapping a lot of parts around for all of our friends and different stuff. So let's go. All right, so I was gonna show you guys this, but Tommy was checking this out. We're always checking these cars out, you know, for anything that needs to be updated or just to kind of something that they might not have seen. So Tommy found this. This is where the ECU comes from, the Fast and Furious. So we're gonna clip this back in. It's probably just not clipped, but I was actually gonna show you guys the steering wheel for those who have never seen this. This just clips over top like this. So you can see how cool that is. I was actually looking to see if his steering wheel could remove, but he's straight on the hub. So it's pretty cool. Looks like there's an airbag, but it's not. It's just the Nismo low-key logo. So I'm gonna put a cover over this wheel because we don't want anything to happen to it. It's a really nice leather wheel. He picked this up in Japan on one of our trips. So super cool, you know, something to bring back from Japan. We've all kind of done that. But yeah, I also have a question. I don't have this button in my car. So who knows what this is? I don't have it. Usually there's a traction control here, but that does not look like that. It looks like an antenna button or something strange. So Tommy's already fixed it. Basically, we just took that little C-clamp or clip. I guess was a channel lock.
It's like a, yeah, like a channel C or some shit.
Yeah, C channel, and it just kind of redid it. So that's good. So we're gonna start with taking this glove box apart. Like I told you, we're gonna be taking all this apart. A lot of this just pops up and pulls out. You got to take the 2 screws out behind the ashtray. This is a Series 1 ashtray. You can see it's like a little bit more of a champagne color. It's a really nice look. The Series 2 has a more silver color to it. These have a more aggressive line, so it's just a preference on which one you guys like and stuff like that. So we're just gonna get this stuff off. Tommy's gonna get me a screwdriver. We're gonna pull this off right here because he asked us to do a new deck for him. So he doesn't, I think he couldn't find the code or something for the Japanese radio. I can key this on and kind of show this to you guys in a second here. But now this thing will come on out. Straight lift, unbutton this guy. Simple stuff here. I gotta unplug this. You wanna be careful not to hit this on any of these other plastics, as it can scratch it. We'll set that aside, we'll set that on the table. And then basically we're gonna be pulling more screws out here. We gotta pull this out, this out. This doesn't have to come out, but this piece will come out so we can get to this, to get to that. And we're replacing all these boots anyways, so there's this guy. This has a button on it as well. That's pretty easy. And then this is the fun guy that we need to actually break off and pull this out. So we'll get to that. And then we're gonna replace this as well too. So we'll have suede, Alcantara here, Alcantara, all mine stuff right here. So let me show you guys the radio like we talked about. So this is whatever radio came with the car. I really love the Japanese radios. I've kept mine in my car because I like the volume knob on the right hand side. It just is more proper, you know, for driving a right hand drive car. I don't like reaching over the shift knob. Sometimes I'll hit my watch on it and stuff like that. It's just a preference thing. But yeah, he doesn't know the code, so this radio's gotta go. Okay. So I put the 4 screws here. We just need to slide all this out. We need to unplug all this stuff up here. This, I think when he first got his car, we cut all the antennas. So I think all this is garbage. So we can cut this out. So Tony provided us with this on here. If these are the same as this, they probably are. So we're probably just gonna reuse, yeah, we're probably just gonna reuse these and just take this out, take this apart, yeah. So if we have to, we can use this. Well, here you go.
Oh, okay.
So this is, we cut these. I think I cut them behind the glove box when he got his window tint and all that stuff done. So a lot of the process is like eliminating all the old JDM stuff, figuring out what some of the stuff is. Like this is totally different than my car. So his model might have had factory nav or something like that. So but this is all you need for the radio. I'm not sure what this is. This whole harness here is a little different. So if you guys know what it is or your car had this, let me know. Because it's pretty simple up here, man. This is your air condition and this is your radio. And then you have your cigarette lighter stuff down here. That's it. This is all not needed. So these have been the same forever. So basically what I was telling you guys is this one is going to plug in here. Just like that. This is a pair of speakers. This is a pair of speakers. I'll find out what the blue and white is. There's a chart here. Blue and white is an amp turn on lead. So that's to turn anything on. So we can go back to the other system and see if they were doing any amp turn ons here, which they actually, this old school harness doesn't have. So maybe we'll use the new one. And then this is pretty straightforward as well. These are speakers here. You got a pair in the white and you got a pair in the gray. And you got power, ignition, probably an amp turn on, and illumination. Let's see if orange is illumination. Let me just take a guess at that. 12 volt, red, ignition, yellow, black, blue, where's orange? Illumination. So the radio will actually brighten up during the day and attenuate at night. So I talked to the customer. I'm just gonna remove his wheel so that nothing happens while we kind of debunk some of this other stuff. So this is super easy to remove. We're just going to be pulling some of the wires that are in this car, like I said a second ago. Horn works. This guy. So the last step in the kind of center console area and all the Alcantara is to remove this. Okay, then we're going to be taking these screws out, pulling this off, or just wrapping it around. I can't remember which way we did the last one, but basically that's next up. So this to the table.
Still biting pretty good.
Remember we had to hit it with a fucking hammer, dude?
I think so.
No, we did. We like literally, we were like hitting it.
It's just got a bunch of like glue on this one.
It moved a lot. Check it. Problem is when we did that, now we couldn't get the button out, remember?
Yeah.
We didn't come up all the way. No, it's okay, because look, what I'm looking at is this angle. Okay?
Yeah.
This goes on like this. Maybe that's why mine never like, so the angle's the same, but the mine's one doesn't have so much of an angle. See? All right, guys, I gotta put the suede on all this stuff. So this one's the most difficult. You gotta take this metal out. Just kidding, it's already done for you. So this is just a straight replacement. You just gotta unbutton this, and then this will go around. We already have this handle out. So this will go around just like this on the new piece. When we put it in the car, you just gotta stretch around. So this is pretty straightforward. We're gonna start with this one. These tools out the way here. This one is literally pulling these things around this, just like that. There is a front and a back to the new one. Where is it? So the new one will have like a front and back, and there's a difference. You can see there's one hole in the back side, well, 3 technically, however you want to look at it, 1 dead center and 2 up front. So for the new rear is going to be this one, and since there's 2 right immediately, so that's going to come like this, and then these are going to be the front here. It's got the official Mines logo. Okay, so I'm going to note this is the front. Obviously you can tell. I'm gonna get the orientation the same. As you can see, there's a button here just like that one. But like I said, there's 1 on the back side and 2 on these outer pieces, just exactly like that. And the front, it looks like they might have not done the hole, because there is one over here. There's one here, there's just not one here. So we'll have to put a little hole through this when we get to that spot. But I'm gonna pop this through. It's gonna look just like this when we're done. So it's the same thing, you're just stretching this out and around. It's a little more difficult. This is how I've always done it. And maybe there's a way you're supposed to remove those things. But this is how we've done it before in the past. Yeah, I don't know if you caught that, but I am trying something new. I tried to pop that off, which they can. Where did that go? I wanted to see if there was a way. I mean, I know there's a way. I just don't want to like damage this silver piece. So this is how I'd probably do it from now on. I showed you guys the first one. That's how I did all of mine. But now with this, I can kind of like pull it off. And then I'm kind of gonna rig something up. Caden found me this. I'm gonna push it on with this. And I'm literally just gonna like push it there. And then I'm gonna take this and kind of push it down. I'm just gonna set that there because I gotta figure out where I need to put my, for some reason, mine doesn't have a hole over here. What do we got left inside? We can put the center console back together? Yeah. This is the way I did it, Way. So here I'm gonna comment. This is how I've done it. Y'all can do it a different way if you want. This works fine for my car. You could spend all the time taking the leather one off if you want. But this kind of goes over here. This is how, again, how I did it. The official Mines logo there again. Basically like tucking this stuff in here. So guys, I stuck to my original plan. Caden filmed most of it, where I just kept pulling and wrapping this, so I didn't use any glue on this. Maybe the next one I'll try to. I mean, this thing, when you press this down, it sucks it back in place. But this thing's pretty legit. Just gonna put this in the car.
Alright guys, so I went ahead and I removed the OEM handle. This is kind of a pain in the ass. Nobody has a straight answer other than just from experience of what we found out. What we did was, with some rags, we protected the old OEM handle, and we just kind of bumped it off until this released. There is a metal shim, I guess you could say, which pretty much holds the handle back onto the arm itself. So once you get that out, it'll come all with the handle. Pretty much you just sit there and slide this on. As you see, this one's on there. You'll get a little bit of movement, but not much. You're not sitting there wrenching on it. And then I put on the shim, and then I took a plastic tool and a hammer, and I just kind of cleaned it up. That way, you know, you're not catching your hand on anything. So everything functions the way it's supposed to, and it looks good. We're gonna go ahead and take the Mines boot here. I went ahead and took off the 2 buttons. You're gonna go ahead and slide this down, and it actually sits in its own little groove here. So I'm gonna pop this in. Start with the back side, it looks like. Get this lined up. And it's a tight fit because this is designed for this handle. Cool. Go ahead and twist that to line up. Go and jump on this one. And then that other panel piece will keep this front down. This has its own little channel. And that's this.
Drop this in like this. It's got alignment pins, so it's pretty straightforward. And I dropped it. I need to test this cigarette later. 90% of them don't work anyways. So you can get your hand in there. You can spin it forever. If it was me, I'd want the Nismo facing me.
Yep.
I don't know. You want it facing back? All right, guys, that wraps up part 1 of today's video. We installed the radio and did a bunch of interior stuff. Super cool. New refresh look in his car. Next video, we're gonna be installing the HKS Super Sequential Blow-Off Valve, as well as the HKS Intercooler and the HKS Super Turbo Muffler. So stay tuned for the next video to drop. And thanks a lot for your support, and see you guys next week.